some of my own takeaways really is we tend to think from this discussion is we tend to think if something's not working at this point or it doesn't seem to have traction, we tend to diss a little bit too much, and sometimes we think of something too negatively. I think the current discussions, I think the intentions have always been good in the discussions where we're pointing out that something is not working that well, but it doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. And my other second takeaway tied to this first point is the DNS is indeed a miracle, and it's worked very well. There is trust that the DNS always works each time. You know, you type a query, you always get the response. There is that trust in this decentralized network of networks. And as we look to the future, is the trust and credibility that the DNS has established, where is it? And at this point, nobody really has the answers. But I think, Ram, you pointed out 3 core quote-unquote values. And I think within the DNS community, everybody shares that, which is the perception of knowledge and expertise. And perhaps this is why when you want to establish an identity, you need a technical expert still at this point. Then openness and honesty, well, it is open to the point where it's bad. And concern and care that, the community, within the DNS community, we care a lot about the DNS and to keep the internet working. And we don't have the right answers for everything at this point, which is in terms of market, commercially it's not working, then we move to look for governments or regulators. And as Jeff pointed out, these are the 2 quote-unquote tools or directions we tend to go. And we don't really know what the answer is. And the question for all of us is, what do we do next? And I think Yoran mentioned a very good point there, which is that we have to continue to come together and talk about it and think about how can we address this problem. If it is a problem, how can we come together and get things to be better? And Mayan, you made a good point as well, that I don't think anyone wants to be in charge of the DNS per se, because if you're in charge, like Yoran said, you'll be very scared, because people like us, like Singaporeans, we will complain to death. We will make it so difficult for you, whoever is in charge of the DNS. We'll make it so difficult for you, so you probably wouldn't want to. And perhaps the best place the DNS is that it remains decentralized, but we find a way for us to continue to work with one another. I think that ties in with my own vision for this forum, because we have some of the global discussions, but regionally we're not getting together as much as we like to. Hopefully, with the pandemic, we are at the tail end of the pandemic and we can get together again. And one of the goals really for this APAC DNS forum is that for us as a community in the region, we can come and discuss some of these issues that's really on the table and how can we help and work with one another. So with that, I'm going to close on a positive note. There seems to be some challenges, but don't think of it so negatively. We're all in this together, and we all want to keep the internet working.